We convinced the Colombians through a series of undercover negotiations that I was in to deliver a DC-6 filled with marijuana and cocaine from the northern coast of Colombia to a small town in downriver Michigan onto an airport on an island known as Grosse Ile, and they delivered 670 kilograms of cocaine and 9 tons of marijuana on this DC-6 cargo plane that landed at 6 o'clock in the morning on this what used to be a military base. Now it was a recreational airport in this small little island 20 minutes south of Detroit.
You were starting this, though. I might have lost you for 1 second in there because I was trying to keep track of all of it in my head before you were getting into that. You started this, though, with the Lebanese trafficking.
No, the parallel was it has nothing to do with the Lebanese.
Okay.
I was assigned to Dearborn to work on that task force. And then my boss asked me to run this program on this one major case.
That
so I started
to.
And because the Dearborn officers were assigned to the DEA task force, it doesn't mean all their work happens in Dearborn. They're what's called task force officers. They're sworn in basically as federal agents. So they have national jurisdiction as well. So they're task force agents. And so they became my partners on this operation. And so we convinced the Colombians.
And by Colombians, who specifically?
Well, we, through a series of different networks of informants and working our way up the chain, ultimately the person that gave the permission to do this operation was a guy named Jose Gonzalo Rodriguez Gacha.
Oh, yeah.
And if you read Pablo Escobar's biography, he was one of the people that mentored Pablo Escobar in the beginning.
Yeah.
He ultimately was shot down. He was killed by the Colombians in a pursuit, shot from a helicopter, and him and his son were both killed. And I think I showed you some pictures of that earlier, of the aftermath.
Hate to see it.
Of the aftermath.
Yeah.
So we convinced them to deliver us 677 kilograms of cocaine, 9 tons of marijuana to this small airport. Make a long story short, we get all the drugs. I meet with the Colombians as they get off the plane. Some Colombians jumped on the plane from South America and met with them, and then we took all the drugs. We pretended we were offloading. I was going to send the marijuana through to Canada is what I told them, to sell to Canadian hash oil dealers, and told them I got a bunch of marijuana for you. And I was supposed to send the cocaine to New Jersey and New York.
Take me there, though, real quickly, if you don't mind.
Sure.
What are they like? So they get off this plane. You've agreed through intermediaries, as you laid out, that they were going to do this, and they actually sent a couple of their, I guess, more senior type individuals here.
Right.
They get off the plane. You're with other people who are all a part of this task force, obviously?
Yeah, no, well, it was only me and an FBI agent working undercover together. The task force helped arrange things like they were surveillance coordinators and things of that nature.
Meaning you had other people in the area.
Tons of people in the area.
But they get off this kind of nondescript. This isn't like a major airport, obviously, or anything.
We're in the middle of nowhere. And I'm glad you brought that point up, because the main guy on the plane was a guy named Flacco. That was his nickname.
Joe Flacco?
No, it wasn't Joe. It wasn't Joe from the University of, what was it, Delaware at one time, et cetera, et cetera.
Played for Casey Keeler down there.
So it was a guy named Flacco, and he gets off the plane, and he's kind of like stretching his legs a little bit and kind of going like this because it was warm being in the back of a cargo, or cold being in the back of a cargo plane. He looks around and goes, I've been here before. And I'm like thinking to myself, that's interesting. That was interesting. He said that. We could never confirm that later on, that he had been there or not. But interestingly enough, I mean, this was a huge deal. We had well over 100 agents working on this thing when the plane landed. We had agents in the tower. We had agents at the police station. We had agents surrounding the island. There were only 2 bridges on and off the island. So
I'll put a map of the island in the corner of the screen for people to see.
Sure. Grosse Ile Island. Yep. And so we convinced them. They brought it all up. I said to them, look, we're going to wait till some of our prospective buyers, you've got prospective buyers, we're going to put this in a warehouse. We put the warehouse over in Dearborn, Michigan, where we had this warehouse where we put all the dope in the warehouse. And over the course of the next handful of days, different people came in to take a look at the product. And so we videotape all of that. So we get them, so they're part of the conspiracy. And then ultimately, a few days later, we invite all of them at the same time to come pick up their product. And when everybody's in the room, I give what's called the bus signal, and everybody, all the cops come out of the woodwork.
What was the signal?
At that time, in that deal, what happened was I was speaking to one of the folks that was there from Colorado, thinking he was going to get some of the dope and take it back to Colorado. I asked him if he I knew it was going to go down. We had everything. So I was just getting everybody ready. I had my pistol in the glove box of the car, and I had another one on me. And I basically said, "Do you want to stick a gum?" He goes, "Yeah," or "No," or whatever. I said, "Oh, well, I want one." And so I reached into the car, reached over the glove box, and as I was reaching the glove box to pull out my pistol, my elbow hit the car horn on purpose 3 times. And when everybody heard honk, 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 it was like I was fumbling around in the car and I was accidentally hitting the horn. Right. And within seconds, everybody, all the police were converging on. I grabbed my pistol, I turned around, I looked at him, I said, "Peter, you're under arrest." And I'm a federal agent, and that's how it went down.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.